All right, guys, we got a crazy pod with Andrew Tate. This guy absolutely snapped. Before we get into it, if you have not tried out the Prize Picks app, you got to download it right now. You guys know me. I've tried every single app when it comes to firing on sports. Prize Picks, hands down, no brainer, the best app out there when it comes to firing on sports. It just makes watching the game so much more fun because instead of just choosing a team, you're choosing individual players. So if you're smart with sports and you know what players are going to perform on what nights, Prize Picks, it's a no-brainer. This is the app for you. We also got you guys on a great code. Code NELK right here. If you put in $5, you get $50 free. Code NELK. Take advantage of that code if you've never tried out the Prize Picks app. Download it and plug that in. We got UFC this weekend, so stay tuned to our socials. We're going to be doing a community play with Prize Picks, and you guys can tail us. We got Pereira fighting this weekend and our boy Justin Gaethje, so we're going to be going big. Look out for our plays. Download it for your first time and use code NELK. Shout out to Prize Picks, best firing app in the game. Let's get into the pod. All right, guys, we have a very, very special episode today. I'm always excited to have this guy on. This has been the third time he's been on the podcast. I think the only other person that's done that is maybe Trump and Dana.
Wow.
So Tate's one of the biggest supporters of the Full Send podcast. We had you on pretty early, but we're glad to have you back, Andrew Tate.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, the first one was Croatia. I remember. That got me in a bunch of trouble. Then it was Dubai.
Did that get you in trouble?
No, what did I say in Croatia? I said something about why men prefer younger women because they've been fucked less than older women, and the feminists had a mental breakdown. I think that was the exact reason I lost Instagram, to be honest with you.
Really?
That podcast, yeah.
Fuck.
So let's do it again.
Yeah,
I have nothing left to lose.
Yeah, you have nothing left to lose.
They've taken my freedom. They tried to take my money. Of course, I couldn't find it all. They've taken all my platforms. They've took everything from me. So I have nothing left to lose. So let's do round 3.
That first podcast, I feel like that was that at like, I don't want to say your peak, but was that when things were like really getting fucking crazy?
So let's analyze this. To answer that question professionally, we need to analyze exactly how fame works. And a lot of the fame in the world today is gatekept, right? So if you join a sports team, your gatekeeper is your manager or your team. If you talk out of line or say things you're not supposed to say, you're off the team. If you're in Hollywood, you have a manager. If you talk or say things you're not supposed to say, you can't be in movies anymore, you lose your manager. And then the other gatekeepers are the social media platforms. If you're on YouTube saying things you're not supposed to say, you know when they deleted you with Trump, when you interviewed Trump, they delete your channel or they delete you. So you're gatekept. I managed to get extremely famous without really having a gatekeeper. And for that reason, I was literally everywhere back then. And their goal to gatekeep me was to delete me from all of the social media platforms, which they did, but that didn't work because people continued to share my content.
Because you weren't going viral on your own pages. You invented clipping.
Well,
pretty much.
I guess.
Like you started the clipping era.
I knew how to say things that people wanted to discuss, which served me very well in the algorithms. And anybody who wanted views on their page could put up a video of me and get views. And on top of that, I wasn't copywriting anyone. I wasn't chasing the money off anyone. I didn't care. So there were people taking clips of me, putting them up, making arguments happen, getting paid off the views, getting paid off the ad rev. I didn't take a penny of it.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, people made a lot of money from Tate.
But I forgot. You invented the clipping era pretty much. People saw you and they saw you getting clipped up, including us. Like everyone saw it. And they're like, yo, this is a new way to go viral. And now clips are everything.
Now it's everything. But there's a double-edged sword because a lot of the things people think bad about me are from out of context small clips, which are deliberately designed to be as abrasive and offensive as possible because it gets the most engagement. So some random kid in Peru can make money off AdSense and I didn't even see the money. Mm-hmm. So it goes both ways. But yes, back then was before the social media algorithms were actively trying to suppress my influence. So that perhaps was the peak of seeing Andrew Tate everywhere. I like to believe you still see me everywhere. It's just changed. It's no longer YouTube in Croatia with Nelk Boys. It's on BBC getting dragged in and out of jail. But I'm still everywhere.
I remember the transition though, because I think the first thing I ever saw with you is when you sat down with that like light skin British girl in like the bar.
Standout TV, I think.
I don't know what it was called, but it was fucking hilarious. I saw that and it was funny. But I think on our podcast and like around that era, you would start to sprinkle in because back then you were only talking about girls and kind of funny stuff. Yeah. And then I would watch and I would notice, and you started to like sprinkle in shit about how the world was working and corruption. And like, there was a little sprinkle of that on our podcast, like the education system or just, then you kind of switched into that and you went away from the females and you started talking about just how the world works.
And that got me in a lot of trouble, it seems. I should have just carried on clowning on women. I should have just carried on saying women can't drive. And maybe I wouldn't have ever had to go to jail. But it seems I did shift to the important subjects after a while. And I say this often on nearly every single podcast. It's important people understand it, that your ability to speak freely is directly correlated to your insignificance. There's no such thing as free speech anywhere on the planet, including America. Nowhere, truthfully, can you speak freely. There are always subjects and things you cannot say. And if you touch on those subjects, it's fine unless people listen to you. You can touch on the subjects in your living room with your friend when no one's paying attention. But if you have a large audience, it becomes very, very different. So, yeah, it seems like I flew too close to the sun just before my arrest when I was in Dubai after we did our podcast. I said to Tristan, we have to be very careful. This is the Icarus story. We're doing very well here and we're everywhere and everyone knows who we are and we're making huge sums of money and there's too many beautiful women by our pool and our house is so big and we have so many Bugattis and everything seems too perfect. This is the Icarus story. Something's going to go wrong. And then we all know the rest.
Did you ever think you'd be this influential? You've been at this for a while. I know you've been in the kind of internet world doing different stuff like entertainment, but did you ever think you'd be like this influential?
It's a good question.
Like you come to the US, everyone's fucking you and Tristan are like Batman, like, you know what I'm saying? Did you ever think that would happen?
Well, the reason it happens is because so many people can't help but dislike me, right? It takes hot and cold air to create a tornado. It's not the fact that I have a lot of people who like hearing what I say. That alone is not enough to get the fanfare my brother and I get. It's that there's a contingent of the population which are just settled on the idea that we're the worst men in the world and that we're dangerous and that we're terrible. So you have these two polarizing teams, these two camps. It takes light and dark. It takes hot and cold. Like I said earlier about the reason my clips went so viral, some people would say he's 100% right. Some people would say he's 100% wrong. So I think I'm very good at saying things in a way which is as polarizing as possible, which puts me in this position. So yeah, my influence is based on the back of the fact that people like what I say, but it's also based on the back of the fact that there's a lot of people who cannot stand me.
When you were coming up though, like you obviously wanted to be successful, but did you like see this level of success?
I didn't see anyone else saying things that I knew to be true. I would look at things and go, well, that's not true, but nobody else seemed to want to say it. Probably because of what we discussed earlier about your ability to speak freely is directly correlated. I got myself in trouble for what I did. So now I realize why. I mean, I always knew why. I kept saying before I went to jail that they're going to lock me up. After the cancellation, I knew they were going to try and put me in jail. That was very obvious to me. But I don't think I could sit here and try and sound like a genius. But I remember saying in our initial podcast, it was a 3-stage plan. And stage 1 was to keep talking in a way that garnered me lots of attention, and then to get canceled on purpose, and then to move people from platforms which were not matrix controlled. That was the whole plan. The plan was, I'm going to go on these podcasts. I'm going to say things that everybody knows to be true. I'm going to garner a whole bunch of attention. Eventually, they're going to try and shut me down and silence me. I'm going to move everybody over to alternative platforms. And then the rest of it kind of all played out with fate, I guess, that we moved people over to Rumble. And obviously, Elon bought X. I had no control of Elon buying X, but I'm very glad he did. I moved people over to Rumble, which is a fantastic platform where you can tell the truth. And then Trump won. Thank the Lord Trump won. So we're kind of here because if things were different only a few months ago at that election, I have a strong suspicion I would be in a jail right now. And so would Trump. So would you. Everybody would. They just lock up everyone at that point. So it worked out well in the end. Yeah.
So how's it like being back in Miami? We went out the other night. We went to dinner.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
Yeah.
Did you miss, like, you've been stuck in Romania for what? How long?
3 years.
3 years.
Long time.
Like, was it nice, like, seeing some Miami chicks, or like, what
it's nice? It's actually nice hearing like American words around you. It's nice hearing English. It's nice hearing American accents. It's kind of reassuring to know that, heaven forbid, if something happens to me here and I go to court, I can at least talk English.
What'd you think of the Miami talent?
I don't know. I'm retired from all those things now. I don't know what to say about girls. That what got me in trouble in the first place.
Yeah, your wheels were a little bit rusty at dinner. I can't lie. I feel like I was kind of wingmanning you a little bit.
Of course, you're the big boss here. You're the guy.
No, but we were bouncing back and forth. But every single chick said they were in real estate too.
Oh,
that's just what you get in Miami, right? If you are into crypto or you're getting into crypto, you guys got to use the MoonPay app. MoonPay is the best app by far to buy and sell crypto. What I like about MoonPay is they have every goddamn payment provider on the planet on the app. They have Apple Pay, Venmo, PayPal, credit card, debit card. I can even use my ATM card on here. If you're holding different cryptos like Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, whatever you have, you can check all the prices in real time on one app. You don't need to bounce around to different apps. The game changer 2 is the customer service guys. All right, 24/7, they are always there for you. MoonPay is available on the iPhone App Store and the Android App Store, and I'll put the link in the description. Every single Monday, we do MoonPay Mondays on our X and our Instagram, where we give away $1,000 in crypto. If you guys want a shot to win $1,000, download the MoonPay app and DM us your username on X or Instagram. No strings attached. We choose a random winner that DMs us their MoonPay username, and we give away $1,000. Shout out to MoonPay, the best crypto app in the game. Let's get back into the pod. Was there anything surprising about like the culture? Because I saw you at dinner. It was so funny. I'm sitting beside Tate, and there's music on. And Tate has his Shazam app out. Yeah. And he's Shazamming every single song. Every single song, and then you're adding it to a Spotify playlist. It was like 10 bands or like Energy by Drake. It was like songs everyone would know. Like, are you not listening to like any American shit at all?
No, I've been kind of disconnected from the States and the whole American culture. I've literally been 3 years in Romania and 2 years of that in my house. So it's been a kind of a strange culture shock. It's nice to be home. It certainly feels nice to be home, but I feel like there's so much work to do and there's a lot of catching up to do. So it doesn't feel like I guess this is my personality as a whole, to be honest with you, no matter what situation I'm in, but I'm never looking at something going, cool, I get to relax now, or cool, I get to chill. It's always, okay, what work can be done here? So I'm glad to be back in America. I was a bit disappointed by my welcome, but I've come to the realization now that the people who dislike me not because I'm guilty of anything. They just don't like me. So they're always going to hate me, which is fine. These charges are going to haunt my name for the rest of human time, no matter how innocent I'm proven, which is fine. So it's good to be home. It's also very nice to interact with real people again. And I've had no negative interactions with anybody. Everybody comes up to me and says very nice things. It seems I have a lot of fans here in
Even
Miami.
when we went out, like all the girls, everyone. But people are very fascinated by you, right? Like even the chicks, like they're kind of just like staring like, yo, is this guy a fucking real person?
Well, I think that I have this strange reputation now. My enemies have given me the reputation of like a mob boss, a bad guy. Like Tristan and I are the Gambino brothers.
Which is kind of sick, right?
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. It's kind of cool to be like the rich, famous bad guy.
Yeah.
So, and we're not even bad guys.
You guys are like real life fucking supervillains.
Well, if you're like a cartel, let's say you're a cartel boss, right? You're in Mexico and you're doing real shit and you're chopping people's legs off and you're the head of the cartel, whatever. I mean, obviously you have motion, you have movement, but you can't go any city in the world and be feared. You're just going to walk into one city in Saint-Tropez, whatever. No one's going to know who you are. You're just a dude. Where Tristan and I can go in any city on the planet and they're like, oh my God, it's them. Oh my God. And everyone kind of gets a little bit shook. I don't know why. We don't do anything. We have dinner. Yeah. But it's interesting. Yeah. So I have to thank my enemies for that. I also have to thank my enemies for how pathetically they bitch and moan and cry about me. It truly is. My brother and I enjoy each morning with our coffee. Sometimes we see comments of people having mental breakdowns. The Tate brothers are the most dangerous misogynists. It's so fucking gay.
Who's the biggest whiner?
Ben Shapiro cries nonstop.
You went at him yesterday, right?
Yeah. All these conservatives have mental breakdowns, but they do it in such a feminine frame. It's just hilarious.
Which sucks because I do like Ben too. I mean, obviously he says a lot of smart things. Like I've been a fan of him and I'm a fan of yours, which is like, I feel like you guys are disagreeing on such like small things, right? I'm sure you guys agree on a lot of shit too.
I'm sure we probably agree that dudes can't chop their dick off and become a chick. I mean, but that's pretty basic. I mean, I'd struggle to disagree with that. I'd probably agree on that point with nearly anyone on the planet.
Would you ever do a one-on-one debate with him?
Sure.
Has that ever been talked about?
I don't think he'd like to do it because next to me on camera, he's going to look extremely small and optics matter. You know?
I'm a fan of both Ben and Tate. As a fan, I would love to see that.
I'd love to talk to the guy, but he's just going to look like a midget. He has the problem which he cannot solve, which is that he's a very small man. He's smaller than my girlfriend, and he's going to look ridiculous sitting next to me. If he can fix that, if he can get a booster seat, then sure, we can talk about it.
That'd be good entertainment. What else do you have planned while you're here? I know we might go to UFC and Power Slap.
UFC, Power Slap in Vegas. Might do that. I've got a new penthouse I'm moving into. Going to do that. I have to.
So you got a penthouse here?
Yeah, bought a penthouse in Miami.
Wow.
Sold me. After that dinner with you, after hearing those few songs that I Shazammed, I thought, fuck it. So I bought a house here.
Do you think you could name like any popular songs?
Probably not.
Like what if we went like
I am the worst.
What if we went 10K a song
guys,
right now?
I am the worst for popular culture. You can try it. I am shit at songs.
Let's do this.
I don't watch movies. I don't watch TV.
Let's do 25K a song.
Fucking hell. Well, I pay you if I...
No, you don't have to pay me.
Oh, that's free money.
So this is pretty much like, this is like the jet to Vegas.
That's free money. All right, let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
We'll do 4 songs.
Cool. But I don't watch movies. I don't watch TV. I haven't seen Game of Thrones. I don't know what all you cool kids are doing. I don't know anything.
You gotta know this.
Liquor talk. I've heard it before. Who is it? fucking...
You gotta name the title and the artist.
No clue. I can't name the title and the artist. No way. I know the song.
Bro, it's Last Night by Morgan Wallen.
Well, I know the song. I've heard it.
You don't bump Morgan Wallen?
No, sorry.
Fuck.
But I have heard that song.
Okay.
I've definitely heard it.
All right.
But I didn't know who it was by. I never would have got the name.
This one, I don't know if this is your jazz. I personally think this is a track. Is it?
Now I'm gonna guess totally wrong. I've heard it.
You can't even guess it's right because you look like a bitch. Kinda.
No, is it? It's either Ariana Grande or Dua Lipa. Both wrong? I fucking
close enough.
Who?
Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter. Who the fuck's Sabrina Carpenter? I don't know who these people are.
I don't think he's gonna get any.
I know the songs. I don't know who sings them. It's not like the olden days where it used to matter who the artist was. Don't even know the song. Zero.
Honestly, I couldn't even name this one too, but I know it's popular.
That sounds like that. What's her name? Megan Thee Stallion? Sounds like her?
Close. Same shit.
Oh, I don't know.
All right. Well, we went 0 for 3. That was Yaglo. Yeah, so I mean, I might
I'm
get
disconnected.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, it's kind of amazing. Music used to matter. Like the song would come out and it'd be the song of the summer. I'm old enough to remember this. How old are you?
30.
You're a youngster. I'm a real old man. I'm 38. So I remember one song would be the song of the summer and everybody knows who sung it and it would be the biggest track ever and it would matter and everyone would buy the CD and you couldn't listen to it free online and you sit there and watch the music channel all day waiting for it to come on. Now there's just so much music being pumped out on Spotify. It's ridiculous.
What did you listen to growing up? Like what's like nostalgic for you?
The only thing that was playing in my house was my father's music, which was Bobby Womack. Usually it was like soul. What about
when you're like a teenager though? When you like,
have I really ever been that into music? I'm not sure.
Like, do you listen to rock or rap?
I listen to everything and I like everything. I like good songs from everything, but I would never say I've ever been really into music. I've never been to a concert ever. If I hear a song, I like it, but I don't.
Should hit a Morgan Wallen concert.
I mean, it's probably great. There's probably, hot girls and cowboy hats.
Good place to fall in love.
I bet it is. But I've just never been, I've never really been ultra fascinated with most things. I have this weird habit, which I'm going to admit now on this podcast, which will be used against me forever, but I never watch TV ever. And if I do watch TV, the only thing I watch are cooking shows. And I watch cooking shows and I get mad. They irritate me. But for some reason, I'm addicted like a fly bumping into a lamp. I just have to sit there and watch cooking shows. And I get mad watching them because I'm sitting there going, okay, food is good. But the way these people talk about food and the mental breakdown they're having over food, like, are you fucking retarded? Like, who cares? It's cheese, bro. No, but it's the cheese and the cheese. Did you try that cheese? Oh my God, the cheese is late. And they start crying because they missed the dinner. And I just sit there watching, getting more and more frustrated till I eventually turn it off. Food is not that interesting. I mean, music's great, but it's not that interesting. I've never really been that into these things. I kind of feel like I've had a higher threshold for entertainment. And that has been a blessing and a curse because you're difficult to please. But if you're difficult to please, you're going to try and achieve amazing things.
Why?
If you're trying to achieve amazing things all the time, you're going to achieve amazing things. Yeah. If you can wake up and have a cheese sandwich and put on fucking a song from Spotify and be like, today's great, well, then you're never going to do what it takes to go out there and actually be successful. If you wake up and say, I don't care about the food, don't care about the music, don't care about the sports team, don't care about the TV, don't care about any of that. I want a Bugatti. I want a jet. I want to work. So I've never been entertained by these things. I don't find them that interesting. I'm not against them. And I know what a good song is, but I've just got bigger fish to fry.
Is that because you think it's like a waste of time? I've seen you say that before. Does your mind just never stop?
If I had to be honest with you, I think my dopamine receptors are pretty fucked by now. I mean, I grew up completely poor and then I had 87 professional fights, which of course is going to be a huge rush. That's why fighters get addicted to it, because once you retire from fighting, normal life is pretty bland and mundane. And then I had the whole webcam thing and I had all these beautiful women work with me and I was making money with that. And then that went bust and I went broke again. Then I got filthy rich with Bugattis and private jets and hundreds of millions of dollars. Then I get thrown in a Romanian dungeon. Then I become the most famous man in the world. Then I'm stuck in Romania for 3 years in my house. Then I fly to Miami and land and it's a hero, everyone's fanfare. Like my dopamine receptors have been up, down, down, down. So when someone goes, have you heard this song? I'm like, bro, who gives a fuck? Like I've done too many bigger things. It's like a man who's been to war. And then he comes back and they're like, do you want to watch this movie? He's like, not really. Like, I'm used to getting shot at. I don't give a shit about this movie. It doesn't matter anymore. So
at this moment in time, are you like happy?
I wouldn't say I'm unhappy in any way. And I would say I'm happy, yes, but the whole idea of happiness in and of itself is skewed in the Western world, especially in the masculine frame, because there's so many men who are waking up complaining about the fact they're not happy, which is the strangest mindset I think a man can have. Because as a man, how happy you are has absolutely nothing to do with how you live your life and how you perform and what you need to do. How happy you are is a pointless measurement. So why do you even measure it at all? I would argue that as long as you're not distraught, as long as someone you love didn't die that day, heaven forbid that happens often, let's say a couple of times a decade, besides those days, you should be happy enough to go to the gym and perform and make your money and do what you need to do. Who gives a shit if you're particularly smiley or not? I think it's quite binary. This whole idea of how happy am I is the easiest way for a man to destroy his life. If you're chasing happiness, you're only going to do hedonistic garbage and achieve absolutely nothing important. If you wake up and say, I don't care how happy I am, I want to be proud of myself and I want to make other people proud of me, so I have to do all these things irregardless of how I feel, you're going to have a fantastic life. If you wake up and say, I want to be happy, you're going to chase silly hoes, drugs, and alcohol.
But that's temporary happiness, right?
Well, but how else can you get instant happiness unless it's temporary? To get long-term happiness is something that's only going to come from dedication and hard work, which requires short-term suffering. It's just delayed. So if you're dedicating yourself and working hard for the future happiness, but especially considering the fact that most people are never happy with what they get and you always want more, your life just becomes hard work and dedication and struggle and suffering. And that's what you just exist within. And you don't operate under the paradigm of happy or sad. To me, it's quite binary. It's not a scale of how happy am I. It's just, has something terrible happened today? Am I distraught? No, then I'm happy. It's almost like there's no such thing as cold. It's just an absence of heat. In space, there's no cold. There's just heat or there's no heat. Well, if there's no despair, heaven forbid a family member dies. If there's no despair, then there's only happiness left. I was happy in jail. I'm happy here. I'm happy in Romania. I'm happy if they arrest me again. I'm happy all the time because unless something truly devastating happens, it's the only frame I operate under. But to me, happiness isn't the giddish, smiling, look at me, I'm happy. That's for children and women. And as a man, truthfully, you get your contentment. I wouldn't even say happiness, but you achieve your contentment through making others happy. I feel content when my children are happy. I feel content when I make my woman happy. I get more from giving than receiving. That's why Christmas is set up the way it is and dad never gets anything. We give. We go to work. We struggle. We make money. We suffer so others can be happy because of us. It's not our job to be happy ourselves. You show me a man who wakes up and says he wants to be happy himself, I'll show you a bitch. Because that's not what you're supposed to do. As a man, you're supposed to wake up and say, all right, my life might be shit. I'm going to suffer. I may be miserable, but every single person I love is going to be happy instead. So you live externally, you live through them, you give them the happiness.
So happiness is just a bonus.
Well, happiness...
Because you can still take care of the wife and the kids and like be jacked and be happy.
Of course, you can be, but it's not the be all and end all of the masculine imperative. Truthfully, if I had to choose between being happy or being competent, if I had to choose between being me with my influence and my competency, but with all of my stress and headache, or being happy as a nobody sitting in the park doing mushrooms, staring at the clouds like a dumbass, I would choose to be me, clearly, because I did. So I think as a man, unless you're competent and capable, no, but let's actually analyze this. Unless you're competent and capable as a man, you're not even prepared. You can't even love anything unless you're competent and capable as a man.
That was funny.
No.
No, you're right, though.
No, but this is important because this is why, you know, when girls have those loser dudes who are like saying, I love you so much, I love you. And the girl doesn't give a shit that the loser dude's telling her that he loves her. Why is that? Because the female is smart enough to understand on an intrinsic level that as a man, if you have no capability to give her things, if you have no competence, if you have no skills or use case, that your love is completely useless. It's like if you have a brother beside you who says he loves you with all his heart, but he's a complete pussy and he can't fight and you get attacked, what's his love worth?
Sure.
What's his love worth? Mm-hmm. So as a man, if you want to say, I love my wife, I love my children, I love my friends, I love the world, you can only have a love that is valuable if you're competent and you're capable. And you're only going to have that if you suffer. So if you want to have the ability to love other people, if I want to be a person who can wake up and realize I truly love my children, I truly love my woman, then the only way I can do that is to suffer enough to be a man whose love has value. If I wake up and say, I truly love the people I care about, but I want to be happy, so I'm going to go and sit in the field and take mushrooms and be a dumbass, well, then my love is completely valueless. Because when they call me and say, there's a problem, Andrew, you love me, fix it, I'm going to say, I can't. And men are nothing but success objects. We are valued by what we can do. We are competency objects. Females are sex objects. Men are, what can he do? What is he good at? That's all we're measured on, is our capability. I think happiness is the easiest way to destroy your own capability because you're too busy doing dumb shit. So when you ask me that question, the reason I gave such a long answer is because how happy I am doesn't cross my fucking mind. I wake up and I have things to do. I have bills to pay. There's millions to make. I'm going to do this podcast. I'm going to go home and then I need to train and I have a whole bunch of other stuff to do. Then I have to fix everybody else's problems. Then I got to talk to my children. Everyone's life is great but mine. Mine's been long, stressful, and busy. And I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do it again. There's no time for me to be happy in any of this equation ever. And if I choose happiness, if I decide to be happy, then I can't love the people I love properly, because then I become useless.
All right, guys, if you are doing any type of e-commerce online and you're not using Shopify, you're making your life way harder than it needs to be. You guys know how crazy our Full Send merch drops got, and the reason it all ran so smoothly was the business behind the business was Shopify. We use Shopify all throughout every single stage of Full Send from the very beginning, and it made sure we got our stuff to you guys hassle-free. Shopify is such a good deal, it even allows us to offer you guys free shipping with purchases of $100 or more on our new UFC stuff and Happy Dad stuff. Go check it out on fullsend.com right now. Shopify's got your back with the #1 checkout on the planet. And with Shop Pay, conversions now can go up by 50%, which is crazy. That's way fewer abandoned carts and way more sales. Trust me, use Shopify like we do. You guys can sign up for a $1 per month free trial. Just go to shopify.com/fullsend. So if you're thinking about starting a business, guys, go to shopify.com/fullsend, like I said, and start your business today. What do you think is the biggest reason that a lot of males are not elevating, or they're like, you know, you hear people talk about that all the time now?
Because they're trying to be happy. This is a fucking psyop. This is the biggest psyop that needs to be addressed in the modern world today. There are full-grown men waking up talking about, oh, you know, I just feel a bit down. You're not a fucking girl and you're not a kid. What do you mean you feel down? You're not in a trench in Ukraine. What do you mean you feel down? Name a period of human history where men were ever happy. Ever. You were either in a field plowing, in a field getting shot, marching at a cannon, sitting home hoping the barbarian hordes don't arrive on horseback to decapitate your fucking wife. When have men ever been happy ever? It's easier than it's ever been.
Yeah.
It's easier than it's ever been. You haven't even got to go to war. All you have to do is wake up, not be a dipshit, find some money, buy a half-nice car, get a half-nice apartment. Then you can fuck endlessly. You're still not happy? Well, then you're an idiot.
So you think it's about perspective?
I think it's about a bunch of selfish losers who are having the femme-centric psyop permanently ingrained inside of their minds of this endless chase for giddish, childish happiness. The happiness you felt when you were 5, newsflash, the happiness you felt when you were 5 years old is gone and it's never coming back. Those Christmas mornings that you enjoyed are gone. You are a grown-up. You are a man. Now, a woman can feel that. You can put a woman on a jet and take her somewhere she's never been, and she can be in love with you, and she can feel it like a kid. Your children can feel it. You can give it to others, but you are never going to feel it yourself. And if you chase it, you're going to end up on drugs, doing dumb shit, losing everything you've ever cared about. So just forget about happiness. Forget about it. You're not supposed to have it. I will genuinely state, and I state this as a matter of fact, I feel no more happy or sad here in Miami than I did in jail. Perhaps I feel I have more I can get done here. I feel more achieved. I feel less frustrated. True, because I was very frustrated in jail because I was constrained and I had lots to get done. But in terms of actual happiness, the level is basically exactly the same. Nothing's different. Nothing's different. I wake up and I have things to do, and I'm going to do them to the best of my ability. Perhaps in jail, I'm constrained. It's a little bit harder. I get half an hour on the jail phone, have to talk in code. Here, I get a nice iPhone. I can text everything and get it all done. But my happiness is exactly the same.
Well, what's your best advice to a guy that's been like rejected or cheated on by a girl?
Well, he probably deserved it. I don't give a fuck about these pussies either, because we're men. You have to take accountability for all these things. What do you mean rejected by a girl? I don't get rejected by girls. Why? This is an interesting question. A guy will come up to me and go, girls reject me. I'll say, okay. Well, they don't reject me. He goes, oh, that's because you're big, strong, rich, and famous. Well, then you have the answer. Get big, strong, rich, and famous. Why are you a skinny little pussy? So what do you want me to do about it? Women are a fantastic litmus test. Women are the mirror to the world. That's what they are. The way women treat you tells you everything you need to know about you. Because we can complain about women all day long, but I'll sit here and say that women definitely shoot their shot, and women are definitely loyal, and women definitely obey, and they'll clean your room, and they'll make you coffee, and they'll share you, and they'll do anything you fucking say. That's what I'll say. And people will go, oh, only for you. Well, why is that? Because I'm highly achieved. So if you want to sit at home and be a loser and be a nobody and not try and not dedicate yourself and not suffer and not display value, and then you expect some fucking hot girl with all the choices in the world to choose you and give a shit about you crying that you're not happy, well, then you're a dipshit and you deserve to be cheated on and left. As a man, every single thing that happens to you in your life, you absolutely, completely deserve, including that woman cheating, because she wouldn't cheat on everyone. There are some complete whores, fine. But then we go deeper down the rabbit hole. If you're dating a girl who's a complete hoe who will cheat on absolutely every single man she's ever with, why are you even with her? Or why do you care when she cheats? Take her for a spin and say, I don't give a fuck. You're falling in love with tramps, and then you're emailing me for advice. Well, you're a dummy. There's plenty of good girls out there that will never cheat. You just can't get them because you're a pussy. Right? We can't psyop the entire female population, women with unlimited options, which is what they have via their Instagram profiles. Unlimited options to choose a shit option. I can't sit there and say, here's what you say, bro. Here's the magic word to make her blind and dumb. You're a fucking dipshit. So that's why you got cheated on. Perhaps if you looked in the mirror, you could identify exactly why she did it. You could look in the mirror and say, was this actually my fault? And on some level it is. It always is. The only way you can succeed in life as a man is if you take absolute responsibility for everything all of the time. You have to sit there and say, every single thing that happens in my life is my fault. Even if it feels like it's not. Even if she cheats on you, every man goes, she's a hoe, she cheated, her friends made her do it, she went out, she drunk, da-da-da. Well, why is she hanging out with those friends? Why didn't you stop it? Because you told her not to hang out with them, she didn't respect you enough. So why doesn't she respect you enough? Your fault. Your fault. Why are you falling in love with a girl who doesn't obey you? Because you have no other options. Whose fault's that? Yours. Simple. You're choosing bad apples because you ain't got any good ones.
When your boy's dating like a big like hoe though, sometimes it's tough to tell him like, bro, your girl's a hoe.
Just laugh at him. Just laugh at him. Just say, yeah, she's a slut and she's going to cheat on you. And then she cheats and just give him no sympathy. Welcome to the real world, motherfucker. I told you. Like, but the amount of times I get asked about girls by dudes who don't deserve pussy is ridiculous. You're asking me about girls and you're worried about girl cheating. Bro, you're poor. You are broke and you are weak. What the fuck are you talking about girls for? You have bigger concerns to address. Like it really is amazing to me because I get this all the time. People come up to me randomly on the street. Oh, hey man, yeah, I love your content and my girl. You're a girl. You got skinny arms, pussy. What are you worried about your fucking girl for? It's unbelievable. If you get your shit right, it's amazing how quickly everything else falls into place. The best way to be good with girls is to be good with everything besides girls. If you're good at business and you're good with people and you're good, your body's in good shape and you're charismatic and you're smart and you're interesting and you're wise and you got a good network and a fucking yacht and a Bugatti and a jet, guess what? You can't get rid of them. You can't get rid of them. Before you know it, you have so many in your house, you get accused of human fucking trafficking. That's what happens if you get your shit right. But of course, if you're going to sit there and only focus on the girls with none of the other stuff, DMing them all day. What do I DM a girl to make her reply? You got 42 followers. The fuck you want me to say?
That's the funniest question. What do I DM a girl? Yeah.
But this obsession with girls, bro, girls are a mirror. Girls will tell you everything you need to know about who you are. And you need to start listening to what you need to listen to the feedback. Listen to the feedback and improve yourself. You can't blame women for trying to get the best they can get. And the sexual marketplace has drastically changed now. It's completely globalized. It's completely online. There's no such thing as finding a hot, little, beautiful girl from a small town. She's got 2 million followers. So it's all online. It's endless competition with men all around the world. From the age of 18, they're being offered to fly out to Sydney, Dubai, Singapore, Tokyo. This is the game now. So you have two choices. You can either cry your eyes out about it or live in some delusion where you think I'm going to give you advice that's going to stop you from being a pussy. Or you can compete. And if you want to compete, then you need to be ultra self-accountable. When you compete in anything, how do you do it? Self-accountability. Doesn't matter what it is. You can be a basketball player, you can be a chess player. After the game, you analyze the game. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? You should be doing that in your life with everything.
Like after every date?
Well, after every day, but after everything all of the time. When's the last time you looked yourself in the mirror and said, okay, is this the man? Am I the best version of myself? Could I do better? The answer is always yes, I could do better. Of course I could. But I'm honest with myself about it. But how close am I to optimum, right? What about me would even be attractive to a girl? Or if a girl's acting a certain way or she ain't listening to you, why isn't she listening to me? Right?
Mm-hmm.
But most people don't want to self-reflect. They want to blame the women, which is the problem with the red pill.
Even just not women. It's easier to blame someone else. Even in your work, it's easier to blame someone else than yourself.
Well, everybody always blames everybody else for everything, which is why they never succeed and win.
I know.
I blame myself. I blame myself for everything. I blame myself for the Matrix attack that put me in jail, even though it was a setup. I blame myself. I blame myself for absolutely everything. I blame myself for getting wet in the rain because I didn't bring a fucking umbrella. I don't cry at the clouds like a dumbass. So you have women with all these choices on their plate, and you have the men who basically are so busy doing other fantastic things, they don't want the women who are getting them. That's what's so interesting. The men who are getting the women that everybody's chasing are the men like me who don't really even want them. I don't want to hang around with a bunch of fucking girls. It's boring. And I don't mean it disrespectfully. I wake up and I'd rather make money, do interesting, big, important things than sit around having fucking date night. I don't want to sit there and hold hands and watch a movie. It's gay. I don't want to hang out with girls.
How's that gay?
Because it's gay.
But you're holding hands with a girl.
Yeah, but who hangs out with girls in high school?
In high school? Wait,
when you're in high school and you see a dude hang out with a bunch of girls, what is he?
Oh, well, I mean, there's gay guys that have a lot of girlfriends.
Right.
But...
So
wait. I wouldn't say watching a movie with a girl's gay, though.
No, the point I'm making is, as a man, obviously you have romantic interests with a female. Obviously you want progeny and children. Obviously we all feel love. We want to protect and provide the women we care about, of course. I understand all of that. But if you're a man who's truly busy in your empire building, you don't want to sit around with girls all day. You don't want to hang out with girls as your best friend. Your girlfriend doesn't need to be your best friend. She's your girlfriend. It's a very different category. I wake up every day. I'm with my brother. I'm with my guys. We have an empire. We have work to do. We have very important things to achieve. We work all the time. We get all of it done. My girlfriend's around sometimes, but there's none of this. Me and my girlfriend are best friends. Let's hold hands. Let's watch movies. We have the same interests. That is gay. That's what gay dudes do. There's a whole bunch of men in relationships with girls who are gay. Yes. But straight men were too busy making enough money to have a third yacht. And then before you know it, all of the gay men who were chasing the real actual hot girls and getting ignored, those hot girls end up on our yachts. We're not chasing them. We're not hanging out with them as fucking friends. We don't care. You want to come? Yeah, okay. Yes, here's a dress.
So where do you draw the line on like the gayness too? So if I have a girl, no holding hands, no dates.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
I can't take her golfing.
No,
like,
of course
what if we both like golf?
I'm not saying that because
I don't want to be gay though.
No, of course.
But I did date a girl and we both like golf. So now I'm kind of questioning my sexuality.
Close. No, the point I'm making is that there's a lot of men who feel like and in fact, let's analyze this another way. Let me make it clearer. How potent you are as a man directly correlates to how much time you have to dedicate towards nearly anything. Doesn't matter what it is, right? If you have strong alcohol, you need less of it to get drunk than if you have weak alcohol. So you have men who perhaps are not that important or that successful or that capable or that interesting or that battle hardened or that rich, whatever it is. They're the normal man. The only thing they have to give a woman is time. That's all they have. They have nothing else to give. So they spend all of their time with a girl all of the time, which means they end up basically being her best friend and shared interests and all this crap, which is fine. But if you're truly a really interesting, capable man, you don't have to do that because you're doing other interesting things that big king-making empire builders do. And yeah, you see girls sometimes, but they're not your best friend and they're not your primary interest either. They're the side effect of your monumental achievements. It's very different than sitting there with a girl all day, every day and saying, she's my best friend. I couldn't live without her. Yeah, we share the same hobbies. Oh my God, we like the same movies. Yeah, we do the same thing. That's very different than me and T saying, okay, all right, we have to fly to Istanbul to check on our yacht. Which girl's coming? Yeah, come. And put them on the jet at the back so they can talk girl shit. Me and Tristan could talk fucking yacht shit. It's different. It's just a different mentality. It's really not that different. Don't you remember when you were growing up, perhaps the 8 years makes a big difference. When I was growing up at Christmas dinner, the men sat with the men and the girls and the wives and the children sat on another table. That's how I grew up. All the women and all the children were on one table and all the men were on another table. Nowadays, it's gotten so fucked up. You got the men and the women, the husband and wife all together around the same table. The men are trying to have a conversation. Some dude's wife fucking pipes up. Some wife is just interrupting 8 full-grown men with her opinion that she fucking heard from Whoopi Goldberg. What the fuck? I didn't grow up that way. I grew up when men are talking. You don't interrupt men are talking. It's the man's table. Men are talking. That's how I grew up. And you had a woman, of course, and she had her jobs and you had your job, but you're busy doing things with the men. That's how you grew up. That's why I live with my brother and my team still to this day at 30 years old. We have a huge mansion and us guys live together. We wake up every day, we get some fucking money. That's it. But if you wake up every day with your girlfriend and want to make TikToks, and some dudes do, they wake up every day with their girlfriend and they make those TikToks.
That shit's gay. Oh, I'll agree on that.
Thank you.
That shit's
like,
gay.
fake argument with a pillow and like, oh, you're fucking homos. You're homosexuals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck how straight you think you are. You can have gay sex with a bitch because you clearly are.
I agree.
It's gay. So there's a level of obsession with a woman that makes you gay. Yes. Only gay men are overly obsessed with women on that level. And truthfully, I'll say something else controversial because I might as well get myself in trouble. I'm good at that. There's also a whole bunch of men who are obsessed over women they don't even have children with. A relationship isn't even serious without a kid. Like the marriage doesn't mean anything. The piece of paper doesn't mean anything. Moving in together doesn't mean anything. Holding hands means nothing. TikTok means nothing. A ring means nothing. Bouquets mean nothing. Anniversaries mean nothing. Birthdays mean nothing. It's all bullshit. Until you have a fucking child with a woman, it's all just a waste of time anyway. I see dudes crying their eyes out over women who've left them. Oh, she left me. How long were we together? Oh, 2 years. And you ain't got a kid? No. So what the fuck were you doing? TikTok? 2 years with a woman, now she's left. It was a waste of time anyway. So a relationship's not even serious. If a woman doesn't even give me a child, why the fuck would I sit and listen to her crap? Why am I going to sit there? Of all the people, I could talk to you, I could talk to PBD, I could talk to Trump, I could talk to all the most important, interesting people on the planet. But no, instead of doing that, I'm going to sit there and listen to her with her opinions. And she didn't even give me a kid. What the fuck's she going to talk about? Sex in the City?
Well, I think sometimes the guys are scared of having a kid, right? Like if I was dating a girl for a year, don't you gotta be careful like who you have a kid with?
Why?
Like that girl's gonna be in your life forever then.
No, she's not. The kid is.
Well, you're still gonna have to interact with her and shit. She's gonna have to text you. You're gonna have to see her.
You haven't got to see her all the time. You know what it is? It's kind of...
What, you think I'm overthinking that?
Of course you are. Because it's...
I don't know.
Maybe I'm just more militant. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe I'm just
Well, you definitely are, but...
Well, no disrespect. I'm busy. See you in 6 months. Send kid here. Thanks. What the fuck?
So that's how you handle it?
Yeah, like I'm busy.
It's just all over text?
I'm busy.
Okay,
yeah, I
okay.
mean...
So it's just like drop them at the front door.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to offend them, and they know me well enough to know that it's not offensive. I've just got important things to do. I don't have time to sit around, go golf. No, I'm joking. You're my friend. But no, you know what I mean.
You don't like golf? You can throw...
I'm shit at golf, bro. I've tried once and I quit.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making here is this. Let me surmise, because I've said a lot. Elon is putting rockets in space. Elon is one of the most important men on the planet. He's trying to fix all the government corruption. He doesn't have time to sit around and be a boyfriend. He's better than that. It would be a waste of Elon's monumental capabilities for him to sit around and play boyfriend and watch a shit movie with a chick. He knows it, and she should know it.
I see what you're saying.
They should have a kid. He should go back to work. That's what he should do, because he is a very important man. Now, if you're Joe Schmo with fuck all else to do, cool. Sit around, make TikToks with your woman. Fine. I have better things to do. That's all I'm trying to say.
No, that makes sense. What do you think about Elon when he took over X? Did you get reinstated right away?
I got reinstated right away. Elon's a real G. A real G. He put me back on right away.
Were you surprised by that?
I guess I was kind of surprised, but then to be honest with you, I think any of the social media bans against me are ridiculous. I don't know what I'm even banned for. What am I banned for? Jokes and saying women can't drive and stupid things? So I got banned for basically nothing in the first place. And Elon shows that when a CEO comes along who understands the truth of the world and isn't woke mind virus obsessed, that you can instantly get your platform back. I think the CEO to YouTube's changed now, hasn't it?
Yeah, we met him at the inauguration and it was crazy. So like we said, our Trump interview got deleted 2 years ago. So
I remember that was insane.
It was insane, right? So, and then we went to this was a YouTube party. The CEO of Google was there, the CEO of YouTube, and it was an inauguration event. So like PBD was there too, like Lex Friedman, and then there was a TV. And on repeat, it was all the content that people had done with Trump leading up to the election. Wow. And I'm like looking in the corner and I'm looking at the TV and I'm like, this is a fucking YouTube event. Like 2 years ago, our shit got deleted with Trump. And that was his first podcast he ever did. Yep. I think they're obviously, I mean, they're probably following the money at the same time, but the YouTube CEO seemed like, you know, he knew I was like an OG he knew all about our channel. So it seems like they're obviously going to have to get a lot more in touch with everything, right?
It sounds like he's a balanced guy. I've heard from a few people, and they've all said he's a pretty sensible, smart guy. So, I mean, a reinstatement on YouTube would be great.
Huge.
It'd be huge, yeah. I mean,
they need to bring back our boy Steve too.
Yeah, of course. I really think they should have done a hard reset, to be honest. Once Trump won again, everyone who was banned should just be unbanned. Let's reset, let's start again, and let's see who says what. Because even there's a lot of people who were banned a long time ago whose opinions may have changed. They may now be saying things different than what they used to say, or the public perception about certain things like COVID is completely changed. You get banned for COVID misinformation. Now we all accept COVID was a huge scam. So I think they should just do a blanket pardon and restart. You can always reban someone. Like, if YouTube were to reinstate me and think that I were to say things that were so devastatingly dangerous and they need to ban me again, then fine, strike me, ban me. But I think they should just do a blanket pardon. That's what I would do.
It seems like
that's what Elon did.
Yeah.
Elon just blanket pardoned everyone, put everyone back, and decided who gets to stay and who doesn't. And it turns out I get to stay because I say very important, interesting things. And I'm not even breaking any of the rules. I've never had a strike or a lockout or no problems on X ever. So I think that'd be a fantastic way to go around.
It seems like they're all doing it, right? Even Zuckerberg, they brought Dana on the board.
Amazing.
Which is, I think, a bigger fucking W for Meta.
Well, it is, but Meta still hasn't reinstated me either. I still need to try and get my Instagram back, but I feel happy knowing Dana's on the board. So I've never met Dana. I've never spoken to him, but the fact he's on the board means the board cannot be ridiculously woke, because every time I see Dana speak, I'm like, yep. Everything he says is true.
What I like about Dana too is, like, I'm sure the UFC sometimes gets a lot of pressures from their advertisers too. Like, if you see someone like Sean Strickland, or I don't know if you've seen the Bryce Mitchell shit recently, where I'm sure in the background they get a lot of pressure from sponsors and business deals, but Dana just stands on his 2 feet and just says, like, yo, I'm not going to tell my fighters what to say.
Fantastic. Because once you start policing people's speech, it's only downhill from there. We know that from the last 4 years of how this country got trod into the ground. So yeah, I think it's fantastic. And I remember with the Bryce Mitchell thing, Dana said, look, I don't agree with it. I think what he said was stupid, but he's allowed to say it. And that's the most sensible. What is possibly wrong with that point of view? That is so ridiculously sensible. I couldn't agree more. And the fact that Dana sticks up for his fighters as well, which is what you'd expect of somebody who runs the organization you fight for. Absolutely admirable.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah, he is.
What else do you have planned while you're in the US? Is there anyone else you're going to link up with? I saw what's good with the Kanye interview.
Yeah, Kanye tweeted at me. We kind of spoke a little bit. We had a conversation.
You guys spoken on the phone?
Yeah, we spoke on the phone. Kanye and I. I would love to have that chat with Kanye. I think that would be an interesting one. It would certainly set the internet on fire. We'll have to see how it all comes about. We'll have to get it done. It's coming sooner or later. We'll get it done. But yeah, I'm being patient with it because I intend on being in America for a very long time now. So I don't have to do everything at once. We're going to let it slowly, organically grow.
Yeah, you might fuck your shit up a little bit, right?
Well, if I do everything at once too quickly as well, people can't properly digest it. And I like to think that my ideas sometimes need to be thought about a little bit. So I'm going to kind of space it out a little bit. And I'm also going to try and find some time, even though I just said all that crap about happiness, I'm going to completely contradict myself now. We need to find some time to try and do something which is not work. We need to do something. I don't know. What can we do in America? We could shoot guns. Is that it?
You could shoot guns.
All right, we can go shoot guns.
What else do you like? Like, go to the beach.
That's not fun, bro.
Just chill at the beach. I mean, you could work on your phone.
No, that's depressing.
What else is fun then?
I love racing cars. What I loved about living in Europe was driving. Because in Europe, you can get a Lambo and you can drive it however you want. And they have these crazy mountain roads and you can race around through the mountains and all these beautiful sceneries. And the police would stop you eventually for speeding, but they just take your license and you're only half an hour from the next country. You just leave France into Italy and carry on driving, even though you lost your license in France 30 minutes ago. It was a lot of fun.
Because I feel like when you do some things for yourself, if you do 1 hour for yourself and then 23 hours on work, I feel like those 23 hours may be more productive too, no?
Perhaps. But I loved racing around Europe. That's the one thing I can say I did purely for fun. There was no objective. There was no pertinent objective, or there was no financial incentive to do it. It was racing around Europe. But I can't do that anymore. And driving in America is not fun.
Yeah, there's
no point in even having a Lambo here. I don't know why people even buy luxury cars here. Because it's just traffic. It's just straight lines. It's just highways. I have no temptation to even buy a Lamborghini here or bring the Bugatti here. It's all a waste of time. I might bring the Bugatti here and drive around Miami just to make a mess and then fly it out again. Just to laugh at Decock because they never got it. But driving in Europe is a completely different experience. Driving through the Alps in France is a different experience. And the way you can race around, and the whole place is a racetrack. I loved driving in Europe. So I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss that. So we'll have to replace driving with something else. Perhaps shooting. But I don't know. Is shooting fun? It depends what you shoot, I guess.
You could blow shit up.
You can blow shit up. Let's blow some shit up.
Let's do it.
Blow some shit up?
Maybe in Vegas.
Let's blow some shit up.
We'll do it.
Done.
How about Aiden? I know you had a long relationship with him.
Oh,
Your guys' shit's always fucking hilarious together. Are you good? He's here.
I know. I need to go see
Do you
him.
link up with him or no?
I know. Yeah, I need to go see him. He messaged me. I need to go see him. I don't know what Aiden's day-to-day life is like. What does he do?
He says he hits the gym every morning.
Oh, fuck
he
off,
says
dude.
he's
Fuck off.
maybe
Aiden Ross
us
isn't
three should
going
all
to
hit
the
a
gym.
workout.
That would be hilarious. All right, we're gonna work out. Us three.
Let's work out. With
There you
Aiden.
go. Perfect content. I want to see Aiden Ross's gym transformation. I have a feeling he crawls out of bed, drinks some soy latte garbage, sits around scrolling on his phone before he streams, gets overpaid to talk garbage, and then smokes weed all night. That's probably something close.
He could be like a texter in between sets.
Yeah.
Like the guy that just sits on the chest fly and then like does a set and then just like texts.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's
me,
like
though.
Steiny too.
That's me though.
That's you?
Yeah,
You're a texter in between sets?
100%. Yeah. I know it's a bad thing, but I got work to do.
Yeah,
So I
true.
just sit there and I just conquer the machine and I just kind of sit there and text. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how strong he is. I'm going to go see Aiden. That'll be interesting.
That'd be funny.
I have to get myself back into the American way, the American culture. It is so interesting how different Americans are than most other people, though.
What's the main difference?
You're a lot more open and friendly than most other people, which is, I guess, is a good thing. It's a good thing. Like if you sit down,
I'm Canadian, so
sorry for your. I'm sorry.
it's
for
not.
that.
It's not a good
I feel
time.
sorry
It's not
for
a
you.
good time right now.
Yeah,
It's bad.
But like if you sit down at a table with Americans and let's say there's like 3 girls or 3 guys and whatever, you sit down, you'll say hi to the guys and the girls will be like, oh, hi, where are you from? What do you do? Everyone's just very friendly. Whereas if you sit down with a table of 10 people in Romania, you'll say hi to the guys. You'll completely ignore the women. The women won't say a word to you and everyone's very cold and no one talks. And it's very different. America's a lot more open as a society, which is nice.
Because they say Americans are dicks.
No, I wouldn't say you're dicks. You can accidentally be very annoying when you're seen in like Europe or other, and I'm
Obnoxious.
American too.
Loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, loud, obnoxious.
Yeah.
Or just like I'm American too, right? I grew up here, but I left when I was 8. So I was effectively raised in Europe. Or like Americans will just walk in with like baggy shorts and like a vest and a hat, like into the most prestigious establishment and just wander in and they're just different than Europeans. You can spot them off
Right.
a mile away. Like if you go to the casino in Monte Carlo and you go to the high rollers table, everyone's in a tux. And then you can go to Las Vegas where they're spending the same money and they're sitting there in like flip flops
yeah.
and shorts
Yeah.
and a t-shirt and they're just spending
The fashion's
100,000
way
a hand.
different,
Like
yeah.
they don't try.
Yeah.
So that's what Europeans mock Americans for. Like nobody puts any effort into their appearance.
Yeah.
It's kind of a thing.
One thing I think you should do while you're here or soon is eventually Joe Rogan. Do you think would you like to do that?
Sure. That'd be a very interesting conversation. I don't think, he was getting canceled heavily during the COVID days. But I think he's pretty safe now. He's not going anywhere. I was about to say that there was conversations of me doing Joe Rogan long before, because before I got arrested,
He was down to have you on?
yeah, before I got arrested, I was avoiding America. Here was my completely flawed logic. I thought, I'm way too large now. The Matrix is going to try and get me. Where is the current heart of darkness? Well, it's the liberal establishment of the United States. And we know that to be true because they were spending all their money with USAID to fund all this garbage all around the world. So I was saying, if I stay in Europe and Dubai and I stay out of American politics to the best of my ability,
You're good.
then I might be okay. So I was being invited to America all the time for these podcasts, these huge ones, not just Joe, other very large ones. And I was saying to Tristan, it's Icarus. It's too close to the sun. If I go and blow Joe Rogan up, we're going to jail. So I tried to avoid all these things, but it didn't work because the UK Foreign Secretary and the Secretary of State, Blinken, signed off on my arrest with the Romanians. And they all did a big deal to get rid of me off the internet anyway. So I got wrecked anyway. So now I'm at the point, well, I may as well go all guns blazing. It's the same as Elon. Elon tried to be non-political until the Democrats promised to basically put him in jail and take Tesla off him and stop him launching rockets. So then he went all in on the Republicans. He knew Trump had to win or his whole life was over. So that's the position I'm now in. I've tried to avoid politics, but I'm actually as heavily involved as a man can be. I'm Trump's #1 soldier. And then I'm the soldier for Vance afterwards. And then I hope Candace or I win it. Because otherwise, America's done. I'll run for president if I don't see anybody who I believe can win it. I'll do it myself. Because if these psychos get back in power, my life's over anyway. As is Trump's. They would have locked his ass up. And a bunch of other people. All the J6ers would still be sitting in jail. So I'm fully committed now. So that's why I was avoiding America for a long time. And I was avoiding the largest podcasts like Joe. But now I'm in a position where I have nothing to lose. So I would love to do Joe Rogan.
That would break the fucking internet.
I would break the internet because also there's still so many things I haven't said. There's still so many things about the corruption involved with the justice system and the legal systems, not just in Romania, but in America and the UK. There is so much I know that I still haven't said because I still have to report to these people. But the day comes, a day will come when light will be shed on the absolute insanity. And this is why I want a lot of people at home to understand as well. I know this is not a particularly political podcast, but this is important. Whenever anyone decides to vote Democrat for any reason, let's say you have a mental illness and you want to vote Democrat, understand this, that you're being left at the mercy of not only foreign governments, because Democrats never got anybody out of jail ever. You're being left at the mercy of foreign governments, but also the Democrats use foreign governments to lock up people they don't like. So they'll look at you, Kyle, and they'll go, we don't really have charges on him in America, and we can't really try and make something stick here because there's law and it's going to come out that it's a setup, whatever. But he's going to India. He's going to India. They'll send a fucking cable, a diplomatic cable to India, get you picked up in India on some bullshit. Some police officer will pretend you had weed in your pocket when you didn't. You're now sitting in Indian jail. The Dems did it to you because they did it to me. You're voting Democrat. You're giving your government the authority to destroy your life anytime you go on holiday ever. Because they use foreign judicial systems. Because then they can sit there and go, the Indians are crazy. We're going to try and get him out and leave you. You got to be very careful. That's what happened. We have to be extremely careful as Americans now that the Republicans, one, stay truly Republican and are not infiltrated by garbage. And two, they stay in power. Otherwise, it's over for basically everybody. It's extremely important that happens. But then let's tie this to other things, right? This is why I even teach the things I teach. The reason I tell men, I don't give a shit about you not being able to get pussy. You need to get out there and get strong and be motivated and get as rich as possible is because there's no point having an army full of weak soy boys. They're not going to win any war. This is a war. I consider this an ideological battle. That's why I talk motivation. Why do I wake up and waste my time effectively? I have enough money. I can retire right now. Why am I talking motivation all day, every day to the youth of the world constantly? Because I'm trying to motivate them to be a soldier worth having. It's like when you have an army barracks and you wake them up and you make them sing the songs as they run. I'm trying to motivate all of the youth in the world today so that they can resist the slave mind programming because my life depends on it, as does yours, as does theirs. Why do I teach people how to make money online? Why am I trying to teach people to become as rich as possible? Because broke people aren't useful in the war. No one cares about the brokies. No one cares what the brokies say. You have to be rich to have influence. So I sit there and say, well, if I want to have influence, surely by extension, I want every single fan of mine to have influence because then we're a more powerful army. So if you're a fan of mine, I will teach you how to make money. That's why I do it. That's why I have the school where I teach it. That's why I say join the real world for $49 a month and you'll be rich. What's amazing is there are people who will not invest $49 a month in themselves to become monumentally wealthy. Well, those are the people who are no good to anybody. If I sit here and you listen to what I say and you agree with what I say and you understand I'm successful and I tell you can do the same things and it costs less than a fucking pizza and you don't try, well, guess what? You're not worth anything to anyone, including me. So I'm trying my very best to genuinely shift the culture. The reason I launched the schools because the educational system is one of the ways they're primarily infiltrating people's minds. That's where the woke mind virus is coming from. All these universities and educational systems. You tell somebody, don't go to school, it's full of garbage. They say, I have to go because I need to make money. No, you don't. You can make money from home for $49 a month and avoid the woke crap. There. You don't need to go uni. You don't need to go to school. All of it. I fixed it. Done. Which is another reason they attacked me. Another reason they attacked me is because I own university.com. University.com is mine.
Wow.
The largest online university in the world is mine. It's not Harvard's, it's mine. So I'm taking a lot of money out of these woke psychos' pockets, which pissed them off again. Because there are men who join my school for $49 a month, start to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, and say, well, I don't need to go to university. I make more than my professor now. That's another reason they attacked me. I became target number one. But these things are necessary. They're extremely necessary. So to all the men out there who are watching this podcast, at the end of this, I hope you take the motivational pieces and you apply them to your life. I also hope you genuinely join the school and become rich. I want all of my fans to be as strong and rich as possible. I want soldiers. I want special forces. Otherwise, we are going to lose. And I'm going to lose first because they chop off the king's head first. I'm the first guy they're going to get.
100%.
I'm the first guy. So this is interesting. I have a vested interest in making all of my fans as rich as possible. Name someone else who wakes up and goes, okay, I have a whole bunch of fans. I need to make them rich. I have a vested interest in making my fans strong and smart and rich and capable, all of them. If you're a fan of mine, I'm on your team trying to make you better permanently all of the time, or I don't survive. My life is the accountability measure. That's your leverage against me, my entire life. So I'm going to wake up and try and make you rich so that I can survive. And you're going to sit there and go, I don't know if I want to join. Well, then you're a dumbass. Then you're no good to me. It doesn't get any better than that because your university professor, their life's not on the line if you fail. They don't give a shit. No one gives a shit if you fail. The only person who gives a shit if you fail is me, because I want to win. I really want everybody at home who's voting Democrat or thinking liberally or is not trying to get rich or is not dedicated or is not motivated to wake the fuck up and realize we're in the battle for our very existence. And it's down to you to not only ensure the good guys win, but to become one of the good guys. And you can't be one of the good guys if you're a weakling or you're broke.
Where do you see like your life in 3 years? How does this chapter wrap up in your mind?
Well, I'm going to be slandered with this garbage for the rest of my life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heavily lean into it because it's funny, you know? So I'm going to call myself a human trafficker at random because I enjoy that. I mean, you saw what the girls did at the table. You
said it to the dinner. They're like, what do you do? You're like, I traffic.
They love it.
They died, yeah.
Yeah. Women love human traffickers, guys. Yeah. Makes the job pretty easy to do, funnily enough. I bought a yacht. I never thought I'd want a yacht. Tristan convinced me. We were looking at buying a yacht, and I was like, I don't really give a shit about yachts. So you can just rent them. He goes, no, we're going to buy one because we're going to live on it. So when all this garbage is over, we're probably going to live on a yacht, live at sea. Tristan's promised to wear an eye patch and get a parrot. So we're going to have an eye patch and a parrot, and we're going to live somewhere in the ocean. That'll be fun until we get bored of it. Sail the world. It's an icebreaker. It can go through the ice. So we're going to go up high and down low. We're going to sail all the oceans. We're going to go everywhere on our yacht. So we're going to do that. That's 3 or 4 years, probably. I have to have more sons. I have to get that done, raise my army. And those are my primary objectives now. And then to try and make sure the Republicans win and make sure all of my fans are as rich and strong as possible and motivate them every single time I speak. I want the people to leave the podcast feeling energetic and feeling happy and feeling motivated with fire in their blood. My only reason I talk, the only reason I even say words anymore is to try and make the people who listen to me feel like there's some energy inside of them they can use. That's my objective because I believe that's the best things I can possibly do with my time. I'm really not interested in much else besides having children and putting them all on my yacht. And if any of the mothers get fresh, well, you know, walk the plank. So we'll see how it goes. Well, I saw your video. What was Greenland like?
It was pretty sick.
Yeah?
It's nicer than I thought. It's fucking freezing cold, obviously, but
Eskimo village.
Yeah, I don't know if that's becoming the 51st state or whatever, but
you know what I love about Trump? I really am such a fan of Trump. I love he's just like, okay, Trump, you're the most powerful person in the world. Okay. He just says things. I will take Greenland. Why? Because I want to. Puts up a map of America with Greenland. It's like he's just,
I don't know if
he's a troll. He's the ultimate troll. It's so funny.
But I think he's serious at the same time.
Of course.
I don't know if he's trolling.
No. But when you troll, you're only, take it from me. Take it from the man who annoys, I'm the second best man in the world at pissing people off besides Trump himself.
Yeah.
When you troll, you have to mean it. That's what makes you a good troll. Like I say things and they go, oh, he's trolling. I'm like, well, I kind of mean it too. That's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, Trump's hilarious. I when he was beefing Canada and Mexico and Greenland all at once, it's amazing. We're only 39 days into his presidency and he's done all these crazy things. So
even
far.
If he's serious too, like even if that's not where the deal's going to land, like it's like even with Canada, like I think the Canada shit, I get a lot of flack for it too, obviously, because I'm Canadian and I supported Trump, but I think that's just a result of the Canadian leaders too, like Trudeau and the position that they put Canada in over the last 10 years. How is it even how's that even something Trump can say?
Of course.
Like, we're going to take you over. That's how bad the leadership's been in Canada. But also it's like, if your starting position is, yo, we're going to take you over.
Yeah.
Like the deal is probably going to land somewhere over here. You know what I mean? Which means a favorable deal for the U.S.
Well, it's the deal.
It's smart. Yeah.
It's the deal. And yeah, self-accountability is the perfect way you just put it. Look at Canadian self-accountability. Canadians should have got Trudeau out after COVID. They should have marched.
It shouldn't even be something Trump can say.
Yeah.
Like, how is he even able to say, we're going to take you over?
And all the Canadians who are talking like tough guys now, oh, we're Canada, we're never will be the 51st state. They locked you in your fucking house, bro, and you sat there like a bitch and forced you to get vaccinated. And they took all your businesses away and you didn't even fucking leave your house and resist your own government. You're complaining about America. You're complaining that America is going to put tariffs on Canadian goods. You know who taxes Canadians the most? Canada. Your own fucking government rapes you for every penny. So and you sit there and pay Trudeau half your paycheck and then talk like a tough guy on YouTube.
There's a lot of smart Canadians. Like a lot of people are pretty. I have good hopes for Canada. I think there's a lot of smart people there. Okay. I'm hoping for a big comeback, like kind of like the US.
It's operating very similarly to Europe. You have a feminine leader who's basically a girl. You have unchecked immigration. You have insane taxes. You have no growth. And America's operating like a winner. And Europe and Canada is currently operating like losers. And Trudeau keeps pulling money out of his ass for Ukraine while his country falls apart because he's a dipshit. But the thing is about life, let's take this away from politics and let's apply this to life. We can apply this to girls. We can apply this to politics. We can apply this to friendships. You can apply this to business. You can apply this to anything. People are going to take and get away with whatever they can. This is how the world works, right? People are going to steal from you as much as you let them steal. People are going to abuse you as much as you let them abuse you. So there has to be a point where you stand up as a man and say, no, enough is enough. This is how things work. If you are a giver, and all of us are givers to some degree, takers are going to take until they can't take anymore. That's how the world works. So if you're going to allow Trudeau to run your government and run your country into the ground and sit there and do fuck all about it, then that's what's going to happen. There has to be a bottom line where eventually people stop complying or stop obeying. If people are going to continue to allow it to happen, it's just going to continue forever.
Yeah, we got to get that guy out.
Well, but then you have to ask yourself the question. This is what's really interesting. You have to ask yourself the question about people get exactly what they deserve in this life, and the strong conquer the weak because the weak are just too meek to protect and save themselves. Like if Canada falls, along with Europe, which is going to fall, part of me is going to be heartbroken. But then part of me is going to be like, well, you had a chance and you just sat there and let it collapse. Like, what do you want to do? Your ship is sinking. There's a hole in your ship. It's getting bigger. Are you going to do anything about it? Oh, maybe the next election, or I made a tweet last week, so I'm just going to leave it. Oh, cool. You're fucked then. You're fucked. I really like to think that Americans wouldn't have accepted this election being rigged, which is why they didn't rig it. Because they knew. They're like, we can't get away with it again. The Americans are not going to have it. Americans are built different. Freedom. 1776.
I guess Americans have guns too, right?
Well, it's built different. It's not about even shooting people. It's about just showing up and showing the power structures that you understand what's going on and you're not going to comply any longer. When I look at Trudeau in charge of Canada and I watch Canadians do fucking nothing, part of me is like, well, you deserve it then.
During COVID, there was a lot, but I feel like there's just not enough people. There's a lot of strong
but not
people.
Enough.
Yeah.
But when I watch the Brits and Keir Starmer locks them up for tweets and the Brits do nothing, well, then you deserve it. You get what you deserve in this life. If you're going to be in an abusive relationship and you're going to sit there as the chick and your husband's going to beat the shit out of you and you're never going to leave and you know all he's ever going to do is beat the shit out of you and you're going to sit there, guess what? You're going to get the shit beaten out of you. That's how it's going to work. If you're going to sit there with an abusive government and let them abuse you and you're never going to do anything about it, guess what? They're going to abuse you. That's all it's going to be. So Canadians are getting exactly what they deserve, as are Europeans, which is a shit sandwich because they have no fucking balls. And they have no balls because they're scared if they tell the truth, they're going to end up in my position. They're scared of a little bit of jail. Boo-hoo. I'd rather go to jail for a few months and know that I tell the fucking truth and I'm a man who's not scared of some fucking sissy boy in a suit than sit at home and be worried about a little bit of a jail sentence and watch my country collapse around me and live like a fucking coward forever.
What's the biggest problems with Europe right now?
The same as Canada. Unchecked migration. Energy prices are through the roof. Manufacturing is completely collapsed. Crime is out of control. Drugs are out of control. And the only thing the police seem to have time for is locking you up for telling the truth on Twitter. Policing your speech. They've taken away free speech because free speech is extremely important for young people and people who are telling the truth to mobilize. Billionaires can lie. A billionaire can stand up in front of you and say he's going to do one thing and actually secretly do another. A billionaire can deceive. The average man can't deceive. The average man has to tell the truth so we can find the other people who understand him because our strength is in numbers. You have to say Trudeau's a piece of shit robbing this country. You have to be able to say it freely online so you can find other people who say it so you can band together to resist. Because as an individual, you can do nothing. You can only operate in groups. So you can't lie. You can't tweet a lie and say Trudeau's a good president because then you'll never find your kin. You never find the people who you can mobilize with. Whereas a billionaire can lie. A billionaire can stand up and go, yeah, we're not going to raise taxes. Then just simply raise them. So the average man needs free speech. It's extremely important. Without free speech, there's no democracy because there's no power of the people without free speech, which is why Europe and Canada, all these places got rid of it and just wreck everybody. They come at anybody who sticks their head up above the line, including me. That's why Europe came for me.
Do you see Vance? He called out the UK PM
Damn right.
in that public Oval Office meeting.
And it had to be done. It had to be done because it's absolutely insane. We as America, we used to go to war with the communists, and people used to die. Young men on both sides used to die. And our justification for these wars were they're communists. They locked their people up for talking. That was our reason to go to war.
Yeah.
And now we're calling the Europeans our allies after Zelensky sits and disrespects our president. And the next day, Europe put him on a little victory tour around Europe and hold him out, shake his hand like he's a fucking hero. These are our friends. What would you do if your friend did that? Your girl cheats on you and all your friends go hang out with her and tell her she's the victim?
Mm-hmm.
Are they friends?
No.
No, we haven't even got European allies. Fuck the European Union. We haven't even got European allies anymore. So I think all of them can get toast. If I was Trump, I would be furious. You put Zelensky in his place, and then he gets fucking hyped up again by all these dipshits over there.
So you think it's going to all shift with Trump, like allies and geopolitics?
America is a...
Like, are they pushing Russia and the U.S. like closer together now?
There you go. Now you have strong nationalistic patriarchies. You have strong nationalistic patriarchies, which is the USA and Russia. We have a lot more in common than we do with these femme-centric, matriarchal, garbage, woke shitholes in Europe. This is the truth. We have more in common with Russia than we do with England currently. The average Russian man will understand the average American man just fine. You won't understand the average Brit who thinks it's wrong to tweet about the native people getting raped and murdered because there's unchecked migration. The average Brit will sit there and go, that's racist. And just
well, I
sit
guess
there.
You can't do too much free speech against Putin as well in Russia, probably, right?
Oh, of course you can.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
You can?
No, you can't.
Can't, yeah.
No, you can't. But this is actually interesting. So let's analyze this. Free speech. This is an interesting conversation because America believes that as free speech. It doesn't. But every single country in the world has things you cannot talk about. Every single country in the world has off-limit topics.
Mm-hmm.
In Russia, it's Putin. In the Middle East, it's Islam. In Turkey, it's Erdogan. If you talk against them, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. Do you know what the American one is?
What, speaking out against the Dems?
Speaking out against the Jews. If you speak out against the Jews in America, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. So every single country has their off-limit topics. So there's no such thing as free speech anywhere. But that is different than having an ideological alignment. My point I was making between Russia and America is that they are nationalistic patriarchies, truthfully, in their homes, in their hearts, and in their governments. Whereas Europe are none of those things. Europe are not even nationalistic. Europeans, most of them believe that they should be replaced by third worlders, or that when they get killed by third worlders, it's just part and parcel of living in a big city. No big deal. Oh, we let a bunch of people in, they killed some of us. Oh, well, diversity is our strength. We don't have anything in common with these people anymore. So, and even on top of all of this, the fact they disrespected Trump the way they did by parading Zelensky around, truthfully, genuinely offended me. I found that amazing. I don't know what Trump's thinking or what he's going to do about it, but...
Well, I guess he just cut all military aid, right?
Yeah, he's cut all military aid to Ukraine. He also needs to cut all military aid and all financial aid to the European continent, all of them, because they all betrayed him. Like I said, if you break up with your girlfriend because she cheated, she's in the wrong, any of your boys who are texting her isn't a friend. That's a snake. You can't have people in your circle who are not 100% aligned. Anything less than 100% support is sabotage. If I had a friend who was 99% on my side, he wouldn't be my friend. You're 100% on my side in all things. Well, even if I'm wrong, you're on my side. You're my friend.
Does Europe kind of have to support Ukraine? Because like Trump says, the U.S. is the middle of an ocean in it. So, but Europe doesn't. It's right there. So don't they kind of have to support Ukraine? Well, just because Putin's going to be inching closer and closer.
Oh, inching closer and closer. Very interesting. We talk about inching closer and closer from the Putin side.
I know they've been doing the same thing. But
doing the same thing. NATO's been expanding nonstop. That's all NATO have done. We've gone up to Russia and started this fight. We've walked at Russia and started this fight. Russia's done nothing but be very calm and they've gone to court 12 times, trying to organize it, trying to solve it in a very legal, very fair, very sensible way. The restraint and the patience that Putin has shown is truly remarkable. So Putin has no interest in invading.
Because the one part of the deal was Ukraine can never join NATO, right?
That's right. And then we started talking about it.
Right.
Putin has no interest in invading Europe. And everybody knows that. That's just scaremongering. Everyone is using this as a scaremongering tactic to extract money from their tax base. They're going to sit in France and say, we need to steal all your money, otherwise Putin's going to come. That's a fucking lie. And they know it's a lie. Putin wants to fix Ukraine. That's it. So, no, the Europeans do not have to support Ukraine. The Europeans do not have to support all of this endless, mindless killing for a war that they can't possibly win.
It's crazy how many people have died in that war, too. It's not even being talked about.
Well,
like, it's like, what, 700,000 plus people?
Europe,
like, I think people think of, like, the war in Iraq, like normal people, and they're like, that was a crazy war. But I searched that up. It's like 20,000 people in 20 years.
Yeah.
This has been like, what, 3?
I know, man. It's wild.
700,000.
I know.
That's fucking insane.
Right? So this is another thing that makes me so angry. Just tying back into things we were saying earlier to move away from politics quickly is that 700,000 young men have lost their lives in a pointless war, which everyone's going to forget once it's over, that nothing even changes. It literally, truthfully, a pointless war. And you're alive and you're watching this and you're not motivated to make anything of yourself. Isn't it kind of amazing, like how hubristic and how stupid humanity can be? Like if I hear the number 700,000, I don't just think of it as a statistic. I think of 700,000 individual faces, 700,000 parents, 700,000 children, 700,000 girlfriends, 700,000 graves. I think of how many people that actually is. And I thank God I'm not in that group. And it makes me feel more motivated to live life than ever before. The second you say 700,000 people have died, I'm like, I need to make more money. I need to train harder. I need to be a better person. I need to go and spoil my children. I need to spoil my woman. I need to do more amazing things. I have to tell the truth. I need an even bigger platform. I feel motivated. I need to do good things. But there are people at home who will hear that number 700,000. It will go straight over their head. It won't motivate them. It won't invigorate them. They won't feel lucky. They won't feel grateful. They won't feel blessed. They won't feel anything. You know what they'll do? They'll sit down and go, oh, I don't feel happy. They'll still feel sorry for themselves like they're the main character of this fucking universe. They'll still feel sorry for themselves knowing that people their own age got dragged out of a car and thrown to the fucking front line and died in a ditch. And you're still feeling sorry for yourself. Why? Because a bitch left you. Wake up. It's incredible how lucky and how blessed and how fortunate every single person listening to this podcast is. It's actually incredible. All of us. None of you have any struggles that come close to a Ukrainian trench, including me. Even me with all my legal bullshit. You can put me in jail over a Ukrainian trench any day of the week. Any day of the week. No problem. But still, people don't seem to understand it and don't seem to get up off their ass and motivate themselves to want to do something and be better anymore. I don't know what's happened. The spiritual dampening that has been applied to the masculine essence is why they get away with enslaving us all in the first place. They've come along and made every man a soppy, weak, emotional pussy. They've taken away the masculine fighting spirit. Before you conquer a society, you remove its warriors. They didn't have to kill us. The Greeks and the Romans would walk into a town and kill all the military-age males to make sure there was no revolt. They didn't have to kill us. They took away our masculine essence. They took away our essence so much to the point where if I tweet out I have 2 girlfriends, a whole bunch of men, full-grown men, will sit there and go, oh my God, that's terrible. Gays, that's terrible. You can't have sex with girls. What the fuck? Making TikToks with their fucking girlfriend. Like pussies. And crying their eyes out when she eventually cheats with me. And when I tell you, get up and go and get rich, here's how you can do it. They don't even want to join the school. They don't want to make any money. They don't want to dedicate themselves. They don't want to try. I'd love to go gym. I just need motivation. Motivation isn't real. I don't feel motivated. I just have to do it. So I do it. Discipline is real. There's no such thing as motivation. You're never motivated at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. It's cold. You're either a pussy or you're not. And we talk about 700,000 dead men. And the sad thing is that most of these men are probably braver, more motivated, and more capable than the dipshits watching this fucking podcast, sitting around on their ass, chasing bitches on Instagram who are too good for them. And they're going to sit there while all these fucking good men die, telling me they're sad and not motivated, and they don't know how to fucking achieve anything in their lives. Genuinely scumbag. If someone comes up to me and goes, oh, I'm not motivated, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I look at them and think, you're a fucking scumbag. What the fuck are you talking about depressed? You're a fucking idiot. You're an idiot. Of course she left you. I hate you. I just met you. I didn't fucking like you. There are people dying in a fucking ditch, bro.
It's true.
You're dying in a fucking ditch. And what do? You're sad about what? You ain't found the time to go to the gym. Why? You haven't worked on anything. You haven't dedicated yourself to anything. Why? Oh, I just don't feel like it. Well, you're a piece of shit. It's ungrateful to the universe. It's ungrateful to God himself to waste what he gives you. You want to talk about how you end up lucky. And I would argue that I'm a very lucky person. You know, on a long enough time frame, I can't think of a single time I've ever lost. It may look like I'm going to lose, but in the end, I always seem to win.
You're not a quitter at all.
Bro, I'm not a quitter. I'm a fucking fighter. I will squirm to the last second. You may try and strangle me. I am fighting to the last second. Think about this. I spent 3 years locked in my house in a questionable judicial system under a full media matrix attack and beat it. Who else can combat the mainstream media, the Romanian judicial system from their house with no money, all assets seized? 2 weeks ago, I was locked in a room. Everyone said I was toast. 4 criminal cases looking at 25 years in an Eastern European gulag. Bam, I'm in Miami. How do you do this? How does this happen? Yeah, it takes hard work. It also takes a degree of luck. Where does the luck come from? It comes from God. Who does God favor? What makes God like you? God likes you when you try. There's nothing that's going to piss God off more than wasting what he fucking gives you. If you give someone a Ferrari and they look after it perfectly, you're happy. If you give someone a Ferrari and see it the next day, it's got cigarette butts, it's treated like shit. Would you be happy you gave him a Ferrari? God gave you a consciousness. He gave you a body. He gave you a mind, and you're not even fucking using it. You're crying over that bitch who left you. You're not using it to be the best version of yourself. You're not using it to get as rich and powerful as possible. You're not using it to change the world. You're not using it to protect those you love. You're not using it for anything. And you expect God to make you lucky? God only has so much luck to give out. Wouldn't he give it to his soldiers who dedicate themselves and try? Wouldn't he think, you know what, that Tate motherfucker, he's been through something and he will not quit and he will not stop and he's never said he doesn't deserve it. He's never bitched. He's never moaned. He's never felt sorry for himself. He's never complained. He got up every day and worked. Let's give him some luck. What about this guy? Always crying, always has a problem, always feels sorry for himself, always needs motivation, never gets anything done. Everything's everyone else's fault. Does he deserve any of the luck I have in my pocket? The answer is fucking no. You make your own luck by dedicating yourself to the universe. I said this before. I said it in a rain dancing term. Rain dancing. I said, if you need it to rain and your life depends on it, you should do a rain dance. Now, do rain dances make clouds come? No. But perhaps, by some strange twist of fate, far in the distance, another tribe will see you rain dancing and realize you need water. And they'll think, he needs water. And we need something he has. And they'll bring you water. If you didn't rain dance and just sat there waiting for it to rain, the water would have never come. There's no such thing as working too hard. You'd be amazed how if you just do work, how amazing things happen. I said this to Tristan when we were in jail. I said, there is a certain number of push-ups I will complete before I get out of this cell. I don't know how many it is, but the more push-ups I do and the quicker I do them, the quicker I'll get out of here. The logic,
Really?
Yeah, the logic being that it doesn't matter. Let's make it simple math. I will do push-ups every day and eventually I'll be released. And that will be the total number of push-ups I had done that got me released from jail. That's what I believed. So I sat there and thought, okay, there's a certain finite number of push-ups that I will complete while I am in jail. So the faster I do push-ups, the more push-ups I do, the sooner I'll be out. That may be a logic fail to most people. Most people will sit there and they won't quite understand it. My mentality was, if I just do as many push-ups as possible, I'll get out of here quicker. Even if I didn't get out any quicker, I used my time more effectively. I came out like a fucking monster, like a beast. I had no gym equipment, nothing. I just had thousands of push-ups a day, every single day. And I kept my mind strong. So I came out without mental damage so I could deal with the mainstream media storm. I truthfully understand why the banking cartels and why the hidden interests and shadow groups have no respect for human life. Because I will tell you, as a man who was poor, and I mean filthy poor, complete broke, 15 years ago. Now, me as a successful man, when I see the average man not trying, I feel fucking distaste. And I remember being broke. I was broke not too long ago. Imagine you're born into a banking dynasty and all you've ever known is wealth and power. And your father, all he's ever known is wealth and power. And then you see the average man sitting around talking about being depressed and sad. You think you give a fuck about these people? You think they give a shit about locking you in your house during COVID, or sending you to die in a fucking ditch, or inflating your currency, or lying to you, or stealing your money via US aid? You're nothing but fucking sheep to these people. And I don't blame them, because most of you act like such fucking dipshits. You deserve exactly what you're getting. You deserve exactly what you're getting, Canada. You deserve Trudeau, who's a fucking moron, and you're letting him stay there. And now Trudeau is going to go to a fucking prosecutor and tell him to raise charges on me for telling you the truth. But I don't give a fuck, because I'd rather live this way than live like you people in a fucking cloud of cowardice. I can't live that way. I feel dirty if I'm a coward. So I'm going to say exactly what I fucking think all of the time. And I'm going to do that to the day I die. Then it'll be 700,001 men dead. But at least my name will be remembered. Because this is the most important thing. We're all going to fucking die. And you can die one way or another. You either die as a number or you die as a name. 700,000 men died. And I guarantee you, if you ask the Ukrainians or the Russians who they are, they can name maybe 30 of them. The commanders, the special forces, the decorated soldiers. The rest of them, nobody's. You can die as a name that's remembered. George Washington's a name. Napoleon's a name. Or you can die as a number, a fucking statistic, but you're going to die anyway. So what are you so scared of? 700,000 men have died in that war. Absolutely disgusting. Not only that it happened, but that the average American man will sit around on his ass and achieve nothing, knowing that they could have just been born in another place. The second that war started, Ukraine closed its borders to men. They weren't allowed to leave. You could have been born in another place. And instead of sitting around crying over a bitch and jerking off the fucking Pornhub, you'd be getting your leg blown off in a fucking ditch. And you're not even thankful to God for that enough to try.
That's the fucking Tate I love right there, baby. This is great. I appreciate you coming. I don't want to take too much of your time, but
Thanks,
no, our whole crew's been supporting you. We appreciate you to support too. This is your 3rd time on, so I think nothing but the best for you is going to come, bro. I really believe that. And I think this is just a chapter, like I told you the other night, and I think you're going to fucking beat it all and you're going to be on top.
I hope so.
We appreciate you.
And let's make sure we blow things up. That was a promise.
Let's do it. Blow shit up. UFC, Vegas, power slap.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Thanks, bro.
Andrew Tate.
Thank you, bro.